There's an update on Yolanda. She's doing very well this morning actually. She's been eating some food, some bananas, now she's having some apples. A little bit shaky, she's only using one arm at the moment, so we do try and help her a little. But so far again, no seizures in the night. Spinach. And she's drinking from her bottle well as well, and she does seem to be getting a bit stronger, so all good news. How about that? So obviously it's more difficult for her with one arm and also not stability on her leg, so we're just helping her to feed so she has some balance while she's got her sling on. There you go. It's nice, isn't it? You lucky girl getting a grape this morning. Hey, getting a grape. So she is out with us most of the day, but while she's feeding in her cage, then she's just sat there. She's also got a little teddy. Just helps to stabilise and prop her up as well. Okay, manage that. She's a good girl. Doing so well. Doing so well, miss. So she's had some great care. We've only got a few of us looking after her right now, so she has consistency. So it's between Hannah, myself and Ellie.
She's developing really good. Her hand wound is healing really well. She's still struggling with a dislocation in her arm and in her leg. So we are going to see how what we can do there. So at the moment it needs to be stabilized, and then she's going to keep it still a little bit for a while, and after a couple of weeks hopefully she will feel much better. Here is sweet little Yolanda. She had a couple of seizures the other day. When was it? 2 days ago. It came from a car crash. So she was hit by a car. Her mom was hit by a car as well, and her mom unfortunately passed away. So little Yolanda was struggling with concussion, and after the concussion she had a day with seizures. Now it's 2 days after that, and she's doing really well. She just has a little lunch nap. Her hand wound is healing really well. She's still struggling with a dislocation in her arm and in her leg. So we are going to see how what we can do there. So at the moment it needs to be stabilized, and then she's going to keep it still a little bit for a while, and after a couple of weeks hopefully she will feel much better.
Little city.
Well, you all remember little CT. He did come in around about the 3rd of December at about 4 to 5 weeks of age, and he was found in a garden all alone, and there were some dogs around. We're not too sure if the dogs were the culprits for him losing his mom, but from the little wounds that he had, it looks more like a road traffic accident or something, and he of course made his way to the nearest trees, which probably had dogs or something there. He also did arrive with thrush, which is a bit of a problem, so we had to get that sorted out, and nappy rash. So you could also see in that little photo how red his little anus is. It's from the feces actually being there constantly and burning them, and that's why it's not a really good idea to have little nappies on these guys. But just look at that little play face and how much fun he's having. He's really enjoying this and come out of himself. Lovely little guy, and I'm sure he's going to do so well. Unfortunately, this is what makes these little chaps so adorable and people wanting them. But this stage doesn't last very, very long. And then they slowly start maturing. They'll start testing out their teeth. Their dominance behavior starts coming out. And of course, you must remember these guys are used to living in a social structure of a troop with a hierarchy. And this is very, very deeply instilled into them. So they don't understand our human ways. They know they have to bite or dominate to basically stay in the ladder and not get hurt. And of course, monkeys don't have visitors coming around. They don't have friends coming around to visit the troop. So anybody that's actually not in the household while this little guy is going to be growing up will be looked at as a foreigner. And when they come to the house, they are a threat and tend to get bitten and things like that. So it's one of the reasons these little guys don't make very good pets. They will bite other members of the family to dominate them, very stuck on the person who's brought them up, but the rest of the family will fall under ranking. And of course that's when all the biting and pain and everything comes out, and then the little teeth and things like this try to get removed. These animals get castrated, and when none of that works, they actually get placed in a little cage. And probably the first owner probably keep it for about a year or so, and then the fun's over, and then try and get rid of it. And the second owner won't have much fun with it at all, and so they keep getting transferred, and this destroys their morale completely, causes tremendous psychological problems, and it's not good for these little guys whatsoever. So as you've all probably heard before, our biggest mission is to get these little guys drinking a bottle, getting them used to the formula that we feed them, so that they can progress further. So this is the initial stage. Sometimes we try different bottles until we get them onto the little pet tag bottle that we actually use, that our cages and everything are designed to accommodate. But sometimes it doesn't always work out that way. We've got guys that just fall in love with this particular bottle, and we've got to try and get hold of them somewhere, because we really battle to get these Royal Canin bottles to use. But here he goes through the first steps. You can see him starting to drink, getting used to the little teat. Even here he's having his first little bits of meals. So this will consist of things like cucumber, little bits of apple. In this case there might be some banana and some mango that he'll basically be trying. So all little sweet things that he can use, and it also helps with their little teething, because you must remember at this age their teeth are just starting to come out. So it's important that they've got a couple little hard things to chew, just to get rid of that feeling on their gums. Like any little infant, playing and exploring is very, very important in these little guys' development. And this gives them the opportunity here in Neverland basically to climb around safely. We've got specially little perches and things like this that they can jump on and climb around. Big nice open windows so they're able to see out and see what's going on, and even get visits from other little, from the bandit troop and other monkeys around in the area. They can also hear the sounds of the wild and the outside and what's going on, which is all very, very important for these little guys' development. It also helps in some instances for them to feel a little bit more secure, because they hear the natural environment that they're normally brought up in. They can see other monkeys and things like that, so they don't feel as if they're captured or caught or put away somewhere. They still got the freedom and everything that they really need. But the important part here for us is basically having a look, seeing how they're climbing, how they're using things, making sure all their little limbs and stuff like this are working properly, their coordination's good, that they're finding little insects and things on their way, they're inquisitive. All these are important for their growth, and to make sure we can pass them on to the next stage, where they'll meet the other little monkeys inside of Disneyland, and of course they'll explore even more. They're more out in the open and get to know each other and start making friends and really starting to enjoy monkey life. But these are the first steps, and it does take us quite a while. This can go on for about 3 or 4 days depending on the condition of the monkey, and sometimes it's just nice to sit here silently with them and watching them and seeing what they do and what little mischief they get up to and little tricks and things that they do. Also their interactions can be quite amazing.
City's doing so much more better. His bum is not so red anymore. His stomach not as bloated, and his mouth with the thrush is getting better as well. And he was kept as a pet in diapers, fed on probably cow's milk or something. So he was extremely bloated on arrival, had thrush and a very, very sore bum. He's still in quarantine in Neverland. Extremely playful, really, really cute little monkey.
Yeah, I'm thinking we want to bring around the whole thing. It's one guy, one shoot. I mean, one.
Well, little CT's bottle was changed over to this pet tag one that we like to use for the feeding cages, just to see how he will adapt. And of course at the same time he was introduced to the feeding cage, where it seems like he took to it with no problems at all, which is really great. So that means he can find a mom a lot sooner. So it's just nice to see that he's managed to get in there and he's drinking his little bottle. And we'll see how things go from there, whether he manages to get in and out. And if he gets that right, of course it just means he's a little bit advanced and can get a foster mom a lot quicker. this little guy, you can see he really loves his apple and his food. We're really not too sure what he was actually getting fed in his initial stages of life, but he was extremely bloated. You can even see his little belly button has been extended. We did manage to push that back into place, so that he doesn't look like he's got a popped out belly button. But his little stomach was so swollen and bloated, it was very, very uncomfortable for this little guy. Sometimes it happens when people are either feeding things like cow's milk, which their stomachs are not used to. We've had cases, I'm not too sure why, but people like to take egg yolks and beat them up into milk, so it's like an extremely high protein type of drink. It's just not digestible by these little ones, and that can cause a lot of problems.
See it, is a little bloated. He was much more bloated on arrival. This is his little yawn. So he loves belly rubs. It just makes it feel nice, doesn't it, buddy?
So we're in Neverland with little baby Karen, the 15th orphan of the season, and this is his second day at the BMF. He arrived yesterday afternoon. Settled really well, drinking well from the intake bottle already. Not crying too much, the occasional little cry.
Hiding your little face in a soft blanket, pretending it's your mom's fur, and as you're slowly getting groomed by her and everything in life is just normal. It's very hard to think of the trauma and what these little guys have gone through, and hopefully we can do something to make the little lives better and treat them a little bit fairer, considering of what's actually happened to them. Of course, when you first see these little ones, they all look exactly the same. But slowly as you work with them, you find out they've all got their own little personalities, their own little behaviors, and their own speed of development. Not one of them develops exactly the same as the other. Some start teething a little bit early, some a little bit later. Some like chewing on your finger, some like chewing on a tree. Some like exploring and climbing, some like cuddling and just being with somebody to get the comfort and warmth. Each little one is so unique and so different. Each one's got such a different little story. And hopefully they can make a whole new story and life at the foundation and get what they should have had right from the beginning. And that's all we're trying to do, is just give them another chance.
Little Chaim in Neverland, exploring the outside.
You can see he's fairly young and fairly small, from also just not having a real interest of anything further than what he is. Like outside, he's not seeing the other monkeys or the other noises or the movements. Everything is basically localized and here in front of him. Probably more worried about his little teeth that are starting to come out and his gums that are feeling a little bit numb. But he's only aware of the surroundings right in front of him, nothing really too far away, because this one's still a very young little baby and still a long way to go. So just very interesting and nice to work with them and just see how they develop and get further through each stage.
So this is our nicely refurbished Skrow intro cage. So we have everything old stripped off. We've got new chicken wire on the outside. This is our new style for the foster mom cages. Just provide extra security. All new branches, new shade net on the fence. So now there's the two guys. Hello. So our two volunteers, Monty and Gabriel, just arrived and they were straight at it fixing these cages up, and they got that one done so fast. Almost one day. They've only been here 2 days. So they're also going down now to work on the Coco intro cage so we can start getting these babies made. Welcome back.
Hello, thank you.
You ready to roll, Anna?
No, we're going to feed them all first,
Okay.
just to get them all.
Fed.
Mini Max needs fed and so does Yons. So maybe 10 minutes?
Sounds good.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Alright, check them in.
Alright.
Should be open. So outside we've got Diane, Janet, we've got Felicia, so this little group were confident the last time, so this isn't their first visit. So Jan's very confident, as he was the last time. And this is Janet at the fence. And then Cosimo at the door. We've got to take it a little bit easy with Mini Max. He was at the vet this morning, his leg just hasn't quite healed, so he's still under strict orders to relax.
When was the last time Skrow got a baby, Mark?
2 years ago.
There's some excitement.
So actually the group from the documentary, the 215 group, are actually 6 now, so they're potential foster mums.
That's some excited boys. It's the first time we've seen Causey play since his away from Goliath.
So this is Edson, and this morning he is going to be joining Lottie up at the Goliath intro cage. Yeah. Let's go. Okay. Enough monkey to work.
Thank you.
Okay, we've just brought Edson up to Goliath, and as you can see, he is not happy. So we've got Mrs. Golden Lottie up here, so we're just going to let him sit here for another 10 minutes just to get a bit more familiar, hopefully calm down a bit, and then we'll set him inside, see how it goes.
the whole integration process. Ones that are born in she knows everybody.
Sometimes it's good just to do a comparison between what's going on here and what could happen out in the wild situation. As you can see, Edson isn't just running over to a mother, and the mother's not just coming over and picking up Edson, so it's not like an instant bond or anything. Edson, even his posture and everything is showing a threatening or scared posture in a way. He'll be running away from the mothers, making calling noises to try and attract his own troop. And these are the things that will get him into a lot of trouble and attacked by the actual troop if you just let him go into anywhere. So one has to really be careful. It's not just a simple process of taking a little baby monkey and throwing him into some troop that you find. That little guy's not going to survive for a lot of reasons, and one of them is that he's not going to just be accepted. It is a time-consuming process and something one has to be really careful about doing.
So he's actually trying to approach them. This is why Lottie being there kind of helps. Yeah. You need to. Yeah, I think it's here.
Well, this is a great example of when you've got a very experienced foster mom that's actually been through this process a number of times and really knows what she needs to do to actually entice the little one over to her. So it's not that in some cases you see the mom going over and trying to pick up the little one. She, although has come close to him, she hasn't made any effort to try and grab him or pick him up. She's kind of left it to him to come to her. And you can see he's sort of followed up the tree, up the branch there and gone closer to her, tried to get into her little arms and stuff, but he's not too sure. So he hasn't completely done it, but you can see how close he's basically getting. And she's not doing anything to sort of go towards him or grab him or anything like that. She's just saying completely indifferent. It might also be helped that she's got hold of one of these little buddies, so he can also see there's no threat, it's not too scary. But I'm sure he wants to be in the same position. But hats off to Mrs. Gold. She's a fantastic foster mom, and she's helped a lot of little orphans on their way to a second chance in life. Well, she's finally won him over, and now we have our little family group, and you can just see her little contented face. I don't know if she's, oh my God, what am I letting myself in for? But really and truly, Mrs. Gold is really one of those fantastic moms. She knows what she's doing. I think she's got just as much love for these little ones, and also knows her job is to try and get them out into the troop so they can also just start living the way they should be living. Just look how she looks into their little faces, and like sort of saying, look, I'm here for you. Well, there we go. We've got Edson now basically joined Lottie with Mrs. Gold. They all look very content and comfortable, all snuggled up together. And Mrs. Gold's looking at her two chargers and saying, oh, well, let's see if we can get these guys out here as soon as possible and integrated into the troop.
This is Yolanda. She's now in critical care for about 4 days, or in better said, intensive care. She didn't had any seizures in the last 3 days, which is really good, which means her head is healing really well, and she just had another drink. She's quite a slow drinker, but she is drinking, and as you can see here on the side, her wounds or scabs on her head are healing really well. So we're really happy with her development, and soon she can join the others.
This is Zebulon having a nebulizer. To help his lungs a bit. He's been good throughout the night. Connie had him overnight in special care, looking after him, and then he slept in a little sling pouch with her. And he's quite bright this morning. So here's Yolanda and Zebulon, currently being cared for together because they're both a bit poorly. Zeb's had some diarrhea and he went to the vets yesterday for a check over, and he was a bit dehydrated. And we could hear something faint in his lungs, so we're giving him some treatment for that. And Yolanda has her dislocated shoulder, of course, so she has to wear a sling. So the two of them are kind of just being cared for at the moment by some of the management team and myself. And Connie now and again, and some other people, trying to keep some consistency for them. Yolanda doing very well this morning, drinking her milk. She ends up chewing the teat as well, in between suckling from it. Here we go. Some more.
So this is Yolanda. She is the one who was hit by a car and had seizures and therefore was in critical care. You can see here her leg, that is the one which was dislocated. She's gaining strength in it, so that's really wonderful. Then this arm is the one which is dislocated as well. That's why she has the sling around, and her wrist has a bandage as well to support it. She is doing much better. As you can see, she is munching on some papaya, and she just woke up. That's why she's a little bit tantrumy, still a little tired, and she ran out of bananas. No, keep it on. And then here we have Zebulon. He is currently sleeping. He just drank about 17 ml of milk, which is quite a lot for him, and that's why he's sleeping now. He needs to digest all the milk, and he's quite happy. He has been moving much more around compared to yesterday, or for example the day before, so we're quite happy with that, and that's why we are giving them a little bit more space so that they can move around while they're still under very intense care, and making sure that everything is fine, that they drink enough, that they get their meds every hour. So there's still lots to do, but really happy with how it develops. And here's Zebulon awake, just waking up.
You can see Zebulon and Yolanda are just doing fantastic. They've really come on leaps and bounds thanks to everybody who's been caring for them. And Zebulon's play facing, I can't keep up with him now compared to how he was. Look at his play face. Look at that little play face. Where they open their mouth. There's Yolanda. It's having a lot of fun together, so they've been in special care now for a few days at least. Yolanda because of her dislocated shoulder, and Zeb. Oh! And Zeb because he was very lethargic, had some diarrhea, and wasn't doing well at all, but now he's really recovering so quickly, doing just fine. So he's joining the Disneyland crew shortly, and there's Yolanda. And she's got more use of her right leg now as well, but her arm is very concerning.
Well, there we got Joe looking after our critical patients, little Yolanda and Zebulon. We do have to be careful with Yolanda because of her little arm and the dislocation, just to make sure things come right, so we can't let her out playing with the other monkeys too much. But it is nice that she's got a little friend, so she can spend time with another monkey and stuff. It also helps her build up her confidence. But of course Josie's there to give them the special care. She's dedicated a bit of time to these two to make sure we can pull them through properly, and hopefully it won't be too long before they're ready to meet the others and get out into Disneyland and romp and play around with everybody and start learning the ropes.
See, she's using her right leg much better. Milkies? Oh yes, you do buy hard, I know. What did you do in your bottle? That's not your one, is it? You've maybe got one on you, you can sort of pinch things, eh? Yes. Oh, yes. Is that
Yeah, it's tasty, huh? Let's see if now you know you like it. You're going to take it a bit more willingly, hmm? That's a no. Your dreams, Connie. Yeah? It's yummy, huh? Okay. Calm down for a bit first, huh?
This is little Lynda. She was handed into the Johannesburg wildlife vets. They had her for about 4 days and then arranged to bring her through to the foundation. Lynda was found on a farm in the Northwest Province, still clinging to her dead mother. We presume the mom was shot, but we're not sure for certain. They did battle to get the little one to drink, but fortunately we've got Connie, as you see, and she's been giving a lot of attention, build up the little confidence and seeing if we get her to start drinking something that she likes, and then hopefully we'll progress on to the normal soya formula, and we'll see how she comes right from there. But at the moment, to give her a lot of confidence, just to show her that she's safe now, and hopefully she hasn't suffered too much trauma in the whole process.
Big day for Lynda. She's moving from Neverland to Disneyland. Pop you in there, Sugar Plum. Good girl. And get your banana mix. And your bananas. Your bottle. Yeah, let's meet some new friends. You're ready. You're ready to meet Lynda. Let's see. They're very curious.
Terry's so curious always. Oh, he saw Dustin.
Okay,
Dustin,
you want to come out there? Okay. This is Sadie. This is Cosley. Big scary thing out there is Dustin.
Traumatizing my babies.
You want to come down and play? There you go. Oh,
You nervous, girly?
it's okay, look. This is Claudette. She's about to go though. Terry. You like Terry.
Terry's very good at welcoming newbies,
Terry's bigger than you.
which is wild.
Hi Jamie, what you doing?
I am taking Jan, Chaim and Finley to Skrow.
Ooh, exciting. Let me join you.
It's Chaim's first time moving over there. This infiltrate is very close.
Very handy. And look at it. It looks pretty. So new. Wow, very nice.
The ladies at Skrow are very excited to see some babies again.
For example, who?
Buffy. He's a good foster man. I've seen Paula, also good foster man. It even seems like Janet and Savannah.
Ooh, Janet.
Yeah. Jana.
So for Chaim, it's the first time?
Yes. I'm gonna sit by the feeding cage.
There is a male bandit. I don't know if you can see him.
Oh, he's eager.
And that's what the babies are looking at right now. Oh, who's that?
Mika!
Hi, Mika.
Hey. She's very interested in the babies as well. And Buffy, I think, on the way. So I think she will actually be a very good candidate for customer.
Cool.
So I'm bringing yarns about freedom, boys. And riding as well. Come on. Let me meet the monkeys. Got Finley, a couple of time. He seems a bit confused. The answer here. You're scared of the monkeys. Janet. They are so big.
They grow up so quickly.
It's crazy.
Janet was one of the first babies I got into a troop.
Oh. And then here's Boo. I'm scared of the monkeys. I'm gonna be your mom. I'm gonna be your family. Buffy definitely wants one. Yesterday she was here grooming yawns through the fence like for 15 minutes.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh, look at that.
Yawns like so well. So we've got the alpha female here, Susanna. Let's find some redirection.
Hi.
Get the milk. Mm-hmm. Jans and Finley getting lots of love from the Skrow monkeys. Okay, we've got Riley, Janet, Savannah. Chaim is curious about the monkeys, but not so sure. Still too scared to get close to them.